because we as humans have a lot of different problems and challenges that come up in our lives, but hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome back to my channel. So if those of you who are just tuning in might not know me, my name is Christina and I am a brand designer here to help our therapists with building their brands and connecting them to the right clients that suit them. So today we're going to talk about, the first step into creating or building a private practice, because there's a lot of different ways that you can get started, but this is my way of how I would think to get started in a private practice. So stay tuned. We're going to start with the first step. Let's go. So the first step into stepping into a private practice and getting to know, yourself as a professional is to really understand, the power of niching. Because when everybody's starting out, we think that we have to serve everybody, but in reality here, you can't serve everyone. It's just impossible, especially when you're starting out. It's just far too much. It's a big pill to swallow. It's not something that would be very sustainable for you, at least in the beginning stages. So my suggestion to you guys as our therapists is to niche down to a specific specialty that you are really good at. And the first thing that I can think of right now is, because you guys are art therapists, having that ability to have art therapy as a modality is a pretty good niche, because many of you are already telling me, art therapy is already a niche. And that's good, that is something to really focus on, because there's music therapy, dance therapy, talk therapy. There's all these different types of therapy. Now, the ones that you focus on here is art therapy, where you're using art and the process of art and creativity to help get into, more of the deeper traumas or somewhere on the subconscious level. So that's a very good way to explain that type of modality to somebody who doesn't know art therapy. So I would say for sure, as a technique and modality, that art therapy is a niche already, and that's basically in the type of service that you provide. Because again, therapy is very, very broad. There's a lot of different techniques. There's a lot of different modalities. So for you, stick to art therapy, because that's what you do best for a service. Now, the other thing that you need to think about on niching is niching to a specific problem that a person is experiencing, that you think you're the best at serving and helping them. Because we as humans have a lot of different problems and challenges that come up in our lives, but maybe we aren't the best at dealing with anxiety, or maybe we're not the best at mothers that are going through postpartum, after having a child. Those are very specific things. So that's the things that you have to start thinking about, because these type of problems, they are called psychographic problems. And that's what you really want to focus on here when you're trying to market yourself and sell your services, because the psychographics really tap into a mindset that they're struggling with right now. And the way that you can tap into that is to understand what they're feeling, what the frustrations are. So doing so will help you be the best in that specific problem that they're having. So if you're having a little bit of trouble in terms of understanding what niching does, so niching really helps you to position yourself in the market, right? there's a lot of people in the market, right, in terms of mental health. So there's a lot of people that are, tapping into, different modalities to different problems, or they're serving a different group of people for a specific problem. So there's a lot of different ways to approach it, but niching helps with positioning and being clear with, what do I want to do in the market? What am I good at? And this is what you can communicate clearly, to others. This is what I'm here to do. This is the person that I'm here to help. And then from there, it really gets down to the nitty gritty afterwards when you're trying to market yourself, create content around that specific problem, the niched problem for that matter. Now, I would say if there's an example that I can come up right now on the spot for a type of niche. So I would say, I'm an art therapist and I help, teens that want to be musicians, but they are struggling with, the self-development, and they feel lost. So there's a niche there. So we're looking at targeting teens. We're not really focusing on a demographic. We are focusing on the psychographic. So they want to be musicians, and the way that we trigger this is now the next step is we target a problem that these musicians are having. So the self-development part, because they are teenagers, they're still trying to figure out their voice and what they want to be in terms of a musician, because there's so many different things that they could do, right? And to stand out, or maybe they're struggling with, their identity. So this is how you can line it up. So you're helping teens, that is specific niche. Now, teens are still quite broad, but teens that are want to be musicians. So there's your next niche pillar. And then lastly, the problem that they are facing right now and how they're feeling. So here's the problem, which is self-development. And then closing it off with how they're feeling. So basically, they are feeling lost. So that's the type of clarity that you want to bring to the table when coming up with a niche. Say the very first step that you want to start thinking about when starting a private practice is to find your focus. Know yourself and know what you're good at, and know the area that you want to be in within the mental health realms. And when you're able to do that first, it's going to be so easy creating everything else for the private practice and the brand. It's going to make you look clear, direct, and people will come to you. People will come to you more often than you think, because everything is crystal clear. And that makes them feel as, a potential prospect or customer, comforting. They feel like they can trust you, right? So that's why I say the very first thing is to think about your focus and creating a focused brand. When you do that, you'll see how easy it will be for the rest of the designing and development of your brand. So thank you so much for tuning into today's video. I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions for me, feel free to comment below, and I'll make sure to answer any questions that are coming up for you at this time. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and keep smiling.